The police maintain that miners will be up to the task of assessing critical evidence that could be found inside Pike River mine. 29 men died in a series of explosions at the West Coast mine in 2010, and the families of many of the victims have been lobbying for re-entry ever since. The government gave those plans the green light in November, and this week forensic experts from the police are training some of the miners. But the police themselves announced today they would not send their own staff into the mine until the entire 2.3 kilometre drift has been searched and made safe. Our South Island reporter Logan Church is at the Pike River mine and spoke to Assistant Police Commissioner Tasha Penny about how this will work.
Today what we've come up with, after consultation and agreement with the Pike River Recovery Agency, WorkSafe and other experts, international experts, was the best position for police is that we will not be entering the drift until it is safely recovered. We will, however, adopt an agile approach. So what I mean by that is if a critical piece of evidence is located during that first phase of recovery of the drift, we will at that stage consult with the agency, WorkSafe experts, and determine whether or not it is safe for police to go underground at that stage. So what I mean by this is that let's say that a critical piece of evidence is found 1,800 metres into the drift. We would sit down and look around the three key critical risks, which are the geotechnical, so the likelihood of the roof coming in, atmospheric, and spontaneous combustion. We ourselves are not experts in those fields, and we are certainly not expert miners. So we would take advice on whether or not at that point it's completely safe to go in to do the forensic work we need to at that stage around the critical piece of evidence.
That's still a non-commitment though, isn't it? I mean, at any point in this process the police could turn around and say, no, we're not going in.
No, it's not committed. I think we're actually very clear in relation to our approach. So as I said before, we will not be going in for the first stage of the recovery until as such that the experts and all the agencies tell us that for police staff, non-mining personnel who are purely investigators and don't have any experience underground, when we know that it is safe for our staff to do, then we will go in.
What does a critical piece of evidence mean? Now, what is critical?
So we're quite open at the moment. I couldn't give you a list of what is critical, so let me just explain it this way. For every exhibit or item that's located, we will have our police staff above ground. The people above ground will be trained specialist investigators, trained disaster victim identification leaders, and at any point where the miners are thinking this could possibly be an exhibit, bear in mind we've had the pathologists down, we've been doing a week of training of what to look for. They will come back above ground, we will have a debrief of what's the most appropriate thing to do around that exhibit, how to bring it out, and as I said, the first question we'll be asking is currently is it safe in that drift for police to re-enter for the purpose of uplifting and looking at that critical piece of evidence at that stage.
So what is the threshold of something being critical?
Beg your pardon?
Well, what is the threshold for something being critical? I mean, the miners must have a threshold that they're working to.
So human remains, obviously, is the first thing, is absolutely critical. In relation to other items that we're looking for, without giving you a list, it could be a range of things. We're open to it, i.e. it could be contraband. The miners, however, are in a position where they know the underground environment. They'll be able to look up and say, actually, this fire setting, this is not normal in our underground environment. This needs to be explored a whole lot more.
So the underground miners will have absolute discretion as to what's critical evidence and what's not?
No, not at all.
The police won't be there, so it'll be up to the miners though, wouldn't it?
No. So I know where you're going with this, okay? So what we will do is, they've had basic 101 training in relation to forensics. There is no way that we can expect them to be trained investigators that have years and years of experience, just like we can't expect our people to be trained miners. So we have gone through at the moment. If in doubt, if you think any item could be of relevance, then that's when we need to have an exhibit conference. Bear in mind that the plan is that really every item located down the drift will be brought back out. And when I said that we will have experts and trained investigators and other people at the top, what we will be setting up is the interrogation of each item when it comes out. If we think about it like this, let's think about a P-lab, for example. The approach we're adopting is just really standard procedure for any crime investigation that we go into. So whilst this is unique and highly technical, we do have some basic operating practices which have been adopted for the police approach in this mine. So a P-lab. It is possibly one of the most volatile situations that you could put people in. We don't just recover the laundry and then make that safe and get investigators to go and do a detailed forensic examination of the laundry. What we do as a house, we will make the entire thing safe with the relevant trained experts making it safe. Once we know that there is no increased risk to our own police staff, we will send in the genuine investigators to investigate and do that approach. That is really pretty much the same approach that we're adopting now.